One of the most important things about brush pen calligraphy is how you hold your pen and also how you position your paper. Both of these things are going to be really critical when it comes to doing your thick and thin strokes and just making your life a little bit easier. So firstly, let's go into paper position. Right now, the paper is portrait to my body, so the edge of the desk is here, and I'm sitting face onto this paper. Now you can see that this is actually quite an awkward position to write. My arm's having to cross over, and it's quite tight and closed up. It's really good to be open when you're doing your calligraphy, as you'll actually be using your arm a lot as well as your wrist. So if we just tilt the paper, you can see already that I'm a lot more open and I can actually write all the way across quite easily. Okay, so how do we hold the pen? The pen that I'm using today is the Pentel Fude Touch Sign Pen. It's the one that I've recommended for better brush drills. If you're using a different pen though, then that's completely fine. It may just feel a bit more comfortable in different positions depending on the pen, but I'm going to show you the basis of how to hold the pen. Now you're probably all thinking, I know how to hold a pen. I use a pen quite a lot. Well, it is going to be a little bit different, and that's because we have this flexible nib, and we just want to position our hand and our pen in a way that really makes the most of it. So most people would take their pen like this, and they're quite upright with their writing, and it's quite tight. And although it is possible to do a thick downstroke and a thin upstroke, you're quite tight and enclosed. So when it comes to doing any curves, you find it much harder. I'm really having to think about taking my pen off the paper, and I'm getting a bit of an awkward position. So the best way to hold a brush pen is actually to pull it out a little bit. So you're holding it a little bit further away from the nib, and you can see now that I'm actually resting it in this part of my hand. This means that it's not going to go anywhere. It's quite secure. And actually what it does is we're now using more of the side of the nib. So when I go down, and you can see that this is much thicker and actually quite a bit neater at the ends and at the sides. And then you just have less pressure going up. Now if you wanted to make your strokes a little bit more slanted, then the easiest way to do that is just to tilt your paper. So this is at like nearly 90 degrees to my body now, but what it actually does is you can see I'm still quite open in my position. But when I go down, it's now going at this tilt naturally. And then up. And then it pulls around much nicer too. So you can see when we're going down from the thick to the thin, it's kind of naturally going with the point of the pen. And that's why it's good to have this open position and to slant your paper in a certain angle that helps you create the style that you're looking for. If at any point during this challenge you feel that you're really struggling with your thick and thin strokes, then just really think about how you're sitting, how are you holding your pen, and readjust that, because it's quite natural for people to go back into what they're used to when they're writing, and then they end up scrawling along with their pen quite tight and finding it hard. So just sit back and think, okay, how am I actually writing? For all of you left-handers out there, so I can't speak from expertise as I'm not a left-hander myself. However, from being in the community for quite a while and in the industry, I've seen quite a lot of left-handers myself. So my suggestion is that you still tilt your paper, but you actually tilt your paper the other direction. And I know some left-handed people prefer to curve over and then some under. From what I understand, it is a bit easier if you're not curling and you're actually just writing like this. And then having the paper at a tilt enables you to still get the same strokes in the same direction. I'll give it a go for you. So actually, I'd probably tilt the paper a little bit more just to get that line. So as you can see, I'm still using the side of the pen to create this thick stroke. We're not too upright or anything like that. And then you can create your thin strokes as well. So that's the best way to hold your pen and position your paper for brush calligraphy. Remember, if you're feeling like you're getting stuck at all and it's just really not working, just go back and think about how you're positioning your body. Good luck with better brush draws, and I can't wait to see how you guys get on. Bye!